So I'm sitting in this, standing in this lit field, and I think it's a good example of most of our lives. Not that most of us are standing in the light. Some of us may be, but a lot of us aren't. A lot of us, our lives are more like what's in the background, that darkness. We're trying to figure out what life is about, and we're trying to find where we can find a little bit of hope in the midst of the frustrations. A lot of us are dealing with brokenness, things that happened in our past. A lot of us are afraid of our future. A lot of us are frustrated at what's going on right now. And instead of saying stuff, we just keep it in, we put the mask on, and we act like everything's going perfectly. That's true especially for Christian people, because a lot of times we're afraid to let other people know that we're struggling. And we put the mask on pretty quickly. A preacher that I know said this, that most people are like cavemen. When we experience brokenness or when we experience hurt, we go into a cave. And unless someone comes pretty quickly to get us out of that cave, we'll seal the cave off and we'll just sit in that darkness by ourselves in frustration and hurt, because we feel that we're better off in the darkness because the light hasn't been that much beneficial to us. We lose hope and we get frustrated and we act out of that frustration. We forget that no matter where we are, no matter what we've done, God's still with us. Because the Bible says this, that the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness does not overcome it. For me, that gives me hope. That everything in my life doesn't have to be perfect for Jesus to be there. Better yet, Jesus is there in the midst of my imperfections. Jesus is there in the midst of my mistakes and my frustrations. It gives me hope because I know that even though I don't do everything right, God hasn't given up on me. Even when other people have given up on me and life hasn't panned out the way that I expected it to, God still has a future of hope and grace and mercy for me. That I don't have to be perfect for God to love me. And that gives me a heart full of hope. And I believe that that is that light. That God still loves me. That in the midst of that darkness, there is still hope. There's still hope for me and there's still hope for other people. And when I can become filled with that light, when you can become filled with that light, then it changes everything around us. That's how the Lord will change this world. When we allow the light that's surrounding us right now, even when we don't see it, to fill our hearts so that we can become light to the rest of the world. And that when people look at us, they don't see us anymore. They see the face of Christ. So never forget this. No matter where you are, no matter what's going on, and I know especially during this holiday season, we can become so tempted to think about what we don't have. Remember this. God is that light. He's speaking to you in the midst of your darkness. Don't focus on what's going on. Don't focus on what's going wrong. Focus on what God is saying to you into your heart right now. If you focus on that, you'll have an amazing life. So why don't we try this? During this season, during this week at least, let's think about the lights that God has put in our lives. The ways that God has moved, the people that God has helped us interact with, and let that be a source of hope for the next few days. See you later.